Okay, good evening and welcome. See, we've got Marky Mark 2 already in the chat and Flaky. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, ladies, as well, if you're watching. And yes, this is it. We're here for the finale of Andorra Andorra. Let me just bring up my webcam. Let's get everything set up. There we go. All right, so we're here for the final 5 league games and CKHD memes as well. Welcome. Good to have you all here. Okay, so you're going to do an Andorra Andorra in FM21. Well, good luck. I suggest you get started on it early so you have enough time. You have enough time to get to the end. All right, cool. Right then, let me just have a look. FM Llama's here too. Fantastic stuff. Right. Let me just check. Is everything... I'm just always a bit paranoid about these at the start. Can everybody see everything okay? Yeah? Okay, good. All right, I'll be tracking the chat off my phone as I did last time. So apologies for any delay on there. Let's get into it. So of course, this is episode 101 of Andorra Andorra. It's the final time we'll visit this save. I think the official end to the series was episode 100. If you haven't watched that, well, that is definitely recommended viewing. We didn't have a great start. We lost on penalties in the Europa League quarter-final to Sevilla, blowing a 2-0 lead from the first leg. We were still at 0-0 on 80 minutes and somehow conceded 2 late on. Penalties did us in there, and then an absolutely epic cup final. Don't know if we should go... Well, we're kind of going to spoil this because you're going to see it when we go through the fixtures and things anyway, but an absolutely epic cup final. You should definitely go and watch it. Larrazabal, Xavier Larrazabal, who's been a bit part player all season. He was the hero of the day, bagging a brace as we got the win over Barcelona. Absolutely fantastic to finally beat Barcelona after, you know, however many times of trying to beat them. So we're going to get into it today. 5 games to go in the league. We'll just play through them one at a time. And the first up, we've got Tenerife. We're travelling down to Tenerife, so a nice trip. As you can see in the league table here, we're currently 3rd. We're 3 points behind Real Madrid, but we've got a game in hand on them. And we're 11 points behind Barcelona. It's mathematically possible we could catch them, unless they have some big post-cup dip. I don't think that's realistically going to happen, though. So, yeah, I've got it all set up. We should be able to just get straight into the first match. And while we're here, you know, do feel free in the chat, if you've been a long-time viewer of the series, any favourite moments from the Andorra Andorra series, any standout players, anything that makes your kind of best of list, please do share. So here's our lineup for today. We're still struggling for fitness, so Jimenez is out injured, unfortunately. So Santos keeps his place in the goal. We still got Hernandez picked up a knock in training, so I better remove him. We've got players like Alvarez who are asking to be rested and things like that, but we've still got a season to finish, so we're just going to have to get into it. We'll probably put Duarte onto the subs bench as well. But and I don't know if I should stick with the hero Larrazabal from the cup final or bring Ben-Hur back in. He's still not fully recovered, should be monitored, so we might bring him on as a substitute. Okay, we've got Bobby here as well. Welcome, and you've watched all the episodes. CKHD memes. Well, thank you for doing so. You've switched off. Is the FM21 Twitch stream still going on? Okay, I thought they were wrapping up. I watched a little bit of it, just like 10 minutes or so, and they said, "Oh, we've still got time to show you something if you want to have a look." So I thought they must be about to finish. So I stopped watching. If they're still on, well, fair play to them. Although I generally don't go in for the pre-release streams that much, to be honest. I just tend to wait and see what we get when the beta arrives. All right, let's kick this off. Yeah, I don't know what your predictions for the beta are. What you think we've got coming. Oh, it's Larrazabal. Scores after a minute. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to the game. I was had my eye on the chat. But all right. Nice steal from Silva. Flick on from Bosch. Larrazabal takes a couple of touches. Boom. Bit of a mistake from the keeper, but, you know, we'll take it. Larrazabal is the man. He's in absolutely scintillating form at the moment. I'll show you that afterwards. For the beta, yes, I will be doing a mini save. Probably just a one season. Might go into 2 seasons, we will see. At the speed I play, probably only 1 season before we get to the full release. But of course, with a couple of my saves, like with the International Manager of Mystery save, I'll be waiting for some downloadable files, some extra leagues and so on. So that series won't get started immediately. Breaking the Big 3, though, in Portugal can get started pretty much as soon as the full game's out. So, yeah, we'll do 1 season for the beta. So my save this year, Bobby. So, yes, Andorra Andorra I've really enjoyed. I enjoyed the Cayman Islands experience as well, with New Gen Nation. The only kind of regret I have about either of them is I just wish I could have got an extra 4 or 5 seasons in with Andorra, because I think, but the only way to do that would have been to not do the Cayman Islands save. But I think, like, the young players we've got now in the national team, give them another 4 years, and there's a chance that they could have qualified for something. And another 4 years with FC Andorra, and we would have started to become Champions League regulars. And, you know, possibly league title challenges as well. But I have enjoyed it a lot. Anyway, let's, well, we've had a lot of highlights so far, and we're only on, only in the 11th minute. So, Bobby, I know you're stepping away from YouTube, but will you be stepping away from Football Manager? That's the big question. Or will you still have a sneaky save to just... when you can get 5 or 10 minutes on your laptop. It's kind of sad at this point in the Football Manager cycle when you get all these saves coming to the end. I just watched before this the final episode of FM Greeno's Holy Cow series, and holy cow, Larrazabal has just scored again. His 15th goal of the season, and he's scored like 9 of those in the last 3 or 4 games. Yeah, 4 more years, a popular chant indeed. Then we'll say, no, stop the stream. No, keep the stream going. I'll have both of them. Yeah, and then obviously we've had the conclusion of Island Dreams and Border Adventures. We've had FM wrapping up his journeyman as well. FM Digi, of course, he's going to be the last man in the saloon, I think. Wrapping things up. Oh, another left back injured. Fantastic. Wrapping things up with his premiere, and Old Lady plays as well, of course. And they'll be on Saturday. Don't know. We'll see when the beta drops. Of course, that could throw a spanner in the works, which is why I'm kind of finishing off here today. Any thoughts from you viewers on any predictions on when the beta will be released? We got Bobby's got FM21 ordered. Pentagon challenge again offline, and a Burnley save. Yeah, okay, that sounds like a good pair of challenges to do. And Iron Dreams couldn't end soon enough. All those times playing Mongolia, Guam, and Macau. Yes, but well, we did get a bit of variety in the final few episodes at least. All right, so Bobby, I'll be interested to see who's got the keys for your channel moving forward. Okay, pretty good half from us, apart from the injury. 2 goals to the good. And yeah, as long as we don't have a second half collapse, don't let it happen, boys. Off we go. Second half. Nice stuff. By the way, I'll just do a couple of little plugs for myself here. If you have not seen yesterday's episode released on the channel, it's a special versus episode. Me as Andorra manager taking on another content creator with another team. And yeah, just go and watch it, as I always say. After the stream's finished, go and watch that one. It's a little bit of a different episode, as FM Llama found out yesterday. But just one of those things where I had a silly idea. I thought, can I possibly do that? And I somehow managed to do it. And I think it didn't work out as terribly as I feared it might. It actually worked out pretty good. Silva, wow. He could have spanked in a good one there. It's time for some substitutions. We're going to go Duarte on for Bosch, because Bosch has picked up a yellow. And I'm going to bring on Ben-Hur at some point, but we'll leave him for a little bit. Possibly next Thursday for the beta. Yeah, we'll see. I think if it's not out by Saturday kind of afternoon UK time, then you're probably looking at midweek. Ooh, good header from Richier there. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, because the 10th, you know, if we think exactly 2 weeks before, Tuesday, it seems a bit of a strange day to release it. But I guess, as Miles has said on Twitter, it's just a matter of whenever it's ready. Right, let's see if we can add a third goal here. I want Larrazabal to complete his hat-trick so I can take him off. Oh, Andorra and Icon Perez nearly with a cheeky header there. All right, what we're going to do now then is put Larrazabal out into that inside forward role where he was so devastating in the cup final. Bring on Ben-Hur, and that's our 3 subs for today. Oh, dear me, silly mistake here. We don't want to give away a goal now, which we have. At least it's 3-1. Hopefully I won't be ruining that when we're like suddenly at 3-2 and then desperately defending our lead for the final few minutes. Come on, boys. Yeah, into the final minutes. Yeah, I think we've rode this out. No, we've killed it since the goal. No further highlights. And there we go. That launches us. We leapfrog Real Madrid into second place. All good. And well done, lads. We march on. Sporting Gijon next. All right, so let's have a look. Ben-Hur after the big money. And Bar out for the next couple of matches. All right, let's see what else we get here. Larrazabal on form again. Good stuff. Show you his recent form, actually. I mean, considering we paid a club record £33 million for him, I was a little bit disappointed with him earlier in the season. But if we look at his last few games, there's just the one game, that Europa League second leg against Sevilla, where he didn't score. So he's scored in 6 of his last 7 matches, and in 5 of those, at least 2 goals. So some pretty good form from him. So that's 10 of his 15 goals for the season having come in the last month, in the month of April. So pretty good stuff there. All right, good. Press conference out of the way. Right then, let's see what we got coming up next. Sporting Gijon have been a bit of a bogey team for us, unfortunately, over the last few seasons. They're currently 9th, so, you know, I guess they're out of the running for all the European stuff. But They'll always give us a tough game. Yeah, right. And then I'll have a look at the other. You can skip the scouting meeting. I don't think we need those anymore, especially not for the national side. So just to look, yeah, Sporting Gijon, and then we finish off Real Betis. Got an away match against Atletico Madrid. It's our toughest remaining game, and then Real Sociedad. So we're playing a lot of teams. You know, Tenerife were 10th when we played them, so we're not playing any of the bottom sides. We've got a moderate run-in. Not a tough run-in, but a moderate one. And I forgot my second plug, actually, for a possible final FM20 blowout. It depends very much on the beta and when it comes out, but we are Duarte's developing concerns. We are planning a live stream on Saturday where I'm thinking there'll be an FM touch. I'll have my teams lined up: FC Andorra, Andorra, Cayman Islands, and then if you guys want to jump on touch and come with your team, and we'll just have a few head-to-head matches. It'll just be like exhibition games, just for a bit of fun. So if that's something you'll be interested in, I haven't scheduled it yet, but we'll aim for Saturday evening, probably around 9 p.m. And yeah, come along, bring your team, and we can do a few games. Maybe get some people in the Discord chat as well, and yeah, and have some fun with it. If, of course, if the beta's not out by that point. If the beta has dropped by then we'll just be on to the beta. I'm thinking of even just going straight on to, like, as soon as the beta's out, just doing a beta live stream and see if that can get us some initial boost when it comes to when it comes to FM21. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to pick that youngster that we had in the squad for the Sevilla game, because I've got no fit left backs again. They're all carrying knocks, so yeah, still going with still Javi on the automatic pick. I don't know if I want to risk him, to be honest. Hernandez, I'm going to put Hernandez in. Get an Andorran on the pitch when you can. And we're definitely going with Ben-Hur up front and Larrazabal out on the right as the inside forward. Yes, I see that, FM Llama. I've been following the progress of the Northern Mariana Islands. I can see how they've come along. We'd be up for a rematch if it's on. Andorra have come along a little way, maybe not a long way, but Nations League B team we are now. Never mind on that. None of that Nations League C rubbish. Beaten the Cayman Islands as well. So, that just shows how good Andorra are these days. Okay, Arlindo. Do you remember Arlindo? Currently out on loan at Vallecano. 32 appearances, 8 goals, 4 assists. Decent average rating, so still putting in a shift. Not the best, I guess. But Ben-Hur's been better this season. All right, Sporting Gijon, here we come. So, if anyone has been in that FM21 live stream, do share your thoughts down there. What you thought of the first kind of close-up look at the new game. Like I say, I just watched some very brief moments myself. One thing I do hope is that the kind of clicking continue bits between matches will get a bit faster. I've noticed over like successive versions of FM, it's just like the gaps between games, more and more news items. I mean, I know you can filter some of them out, but it just seems to get longer and longer. All right. Let's see if we can get one over Sporting Gijon. Like I said, they've caused us a few problems in the recent past. They gave us a thrashing in the Cup a couple of seasons ago. At the time, they were being managed by Frank Lampard, and we would often butt heads in the media. But Frank Lampard is now manager of Espanyol. Okay, so FM Lamy is saying, oh, Speranza gets us an early goal. 15 seconds was that? Fantastic shot. But they spotted a few bugs towards the end of the stream they weren't happy with. Okay, is that like the SI guys weren't happy with, or the chat was pointing them all out, or combination? Bit of the stadium disappeared and the wrong goal scorers' names. Yeah, I suppose those are kind of minor bugs, but the ones that will get people panicking, like, oh, the game's too unpolished, too far off release, and so on. Sounds like the beta will be a few days away. I think someone was saying earlier that last year they did their first live stream and it was still another week from there before the beta arrived. But, you know, we can be patient. The only thing that's making me impatient now is the fact that we're wrapping up with Andorra here, and, you know, there's nothing else to do in the meantime. There's a big void in our life. Okay, if it seemed quicker in between, that's good news. All right then, let's see if we can get ourselves a couple of goals to the good here. I think, you know, this season we've been more successful, and I think it was just the fact that, you know, I stopped because we lost Georgie Gomez for pretty big money for us, over 50 million, and then, you know, we let a couple of other players go for decent prices as well, and there was Sanha who went to Juventus for big money. And that brought, you know, then I spent big for the first time. I didn't think about, because it was a final season, I didn't think about spending for, you know, on stadium improvements or facilities improvements. It's just like, no, let's blow all this money on players. So we got Ben-Hur in. We got Larrazabal in, we got Bosch in, we got Figueras in, we got Alvarez in, and we got Richier in, and I think just that depth and that extra quality in the squad has made a huge difference. Okay, so we're 1-0 up at half-time. Pretty straightforward so far. Don't get complacent. The usual. Okay, Salmon FM, welcome. Thanks for popping in. Sorry, I just lost my chat connection for a couple of moments there. Let's see. Anyway, as we've got after this game, 3 games to go, 3.5 games to go, and then we wrap up everything with Andorra Andorra. The other thing that I would have liked to continue for, if there was time, I mean, we're probably most likely going to secure Champions League qualification here, so that would have been nice to play some Champions League football with FC Andorra. And also next season, come September, October, November, Andorra national team are going to be playing Nations League Division B games. So, you know, it would have been nice to kind of reach those next steps with both of them, but not to be. Anyway, Speranza's taken a knock. Bit of a drop in his conditioning, but he's been the best player on the park so far. Time for substitutions anyway, just as my defence are starting to pick up cards. For no particular reason. Right, we'll bring on Gabriel Marino as well. He's been, you know, he's been another player who's improved this season. Been with us for a long time, since he was like 19. Spent multiple times out on loan and finally got up to first team standard. Anyway, still a bit of time to go in this game. Sport and Gijon still have time to do something a bit nasty to us. Whoa. We'll see how we can hold out. The main thing is just to hold on to that top 4 spot for now. And go out on that high, knowing that we did enough. We became good enough for the Champions League. Oof, Ben-Hur. I love how of course the quality of graphics in Football Manager, is what it is. It's limited somewhat, but I just love how tall and lanky Ben-Hur looks compared to the players around him. One episode I was thinking about doing for a very spurious reason was our last match against Getafe, because they have a centre-back who's 202 centimetres tall. He's the only player in the league taller than Ben-Hur, but he was injured, unfortunately, for that match and so didn't play. It would have just been nice to see the two giants going up against each other. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Larrazabal cutting inside, as he did so effectively against Barcelona. Gets the corner. A pretty good effort. There we go. Larrazabal nearly with the header. Nearly. Ooh, pretty close. All right, highlights coming pretty thick and fast now, but it does seem to be going our way at the moment, he says, as the right back makes a terrible pass. Luckily, though, the shot goes straight to Santos. Good to see. All right, then. Bosch. Larrazabal. Ben-Hur back to Larrazabal. Larrazabal goes for the shot. Another good effort that draws a corner. Come on, boys. We'll demand a bit more. With all this pressure, we should have got a second goal by now. Okay, Sporting Gijon obviously a bit rattled based on their reaction to feedback from their manager, and as I say that, they've just gone bloody well equalised, haven't they? Darn it. Alright, let's look at some substitutions then. I think we're gonna bring on Regielson. Bring him on for Speranza. We'll put Bosch out on the left. That should give some fresh legs at least. And we'll get a bit creative, see if we can turn this into a late win. If we want to stay ahead of Real Madrid, that's what we need to do. Larrazabal's been involved a lot, but they've given him a pretty poor rating. I can't make any more substitutions. Whoops, of course. Forgotten how to count. Anyway, I think we're just going to settle for the draw at this point. Would be nice to finish ahead of Real Madrid, but we don't want to put our top 4 spot at risk whilst trying to do so. They've still got to play. So, I tell them I'm just far from pleased. All right, press conference then. Yeah, we'll be fine. Great goal. That guy gets a lot of yellow cards. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Okay, good stuff. But yeah, overall, I think this is actually, for me, Football Manager 2020, this has been the first time, although I've been putting videos up since 2018, this is the first time I've done like a full cycle of the game. Because when I started making Football Manager videos, it was like once we got to January 2018, I think my first ones went up. And yeah, so I just did like went up to July, then moved house, had to take a couple of months off, then wrapped up my series before Football Manager 2019 came out, but then Football Manager 2019 just had a period. Moved house, changed jobs. The new job wasn't the best place to work. Very, very busy, very high workload, and no time for anything. So then, luckily, I was able to find something better. And then once we'd moved and settled in, I did a little bit of Football Manager 2019, only like 2 months. 2 months of it just to get back into the swing of things, and then this Football Manager 2020. So that's the first time I've gone through from having stuff out early on in the beta, having stuff out just after release, and going right through to the end. So my first full cycle, we could say. So Bobby G, favorite FM game? I don't know. That's always a tricky one for me. I think because it's a game that kind of changes incrementally. It doesn't have like some big wholesale shift from one version to the next. It is quite tough to pick out the favorite ever one, and I think whatever I would say is probably going to be more based on my favorite save rather than what I consider to objectively be the best version of the game. I think going back, I really enjoyed the game a lot around the time of Football Manager 2008 to 2010. I had a lot of good saves then, and I got through. I got through so many seasons. It was ridiculous, but great fun at the same time as well. Then I also had a lot of fun with Football Manager 2015. So much so that I bought Football Manager 2016 but hardly played it, and I never bought Football Manager 2017 because it took me 2.5 years to complete a Pentagon challenge. Because I did a load of added-on leagues, and I was trying to do it with countries where I'd never managed before. I eventually gave up. I had to go to Argentina to win the Copa Libertadores, which was one I'd done before, and I had to go to Mexico to win the CONCACAF Champions League. I tried to win the CONCACAF Champions League with a team from Guyana. That I'd still be playing that save if I'd stuck with that idea. Like, that was crazy. Yeah, so I agree with you, JDH. Definitely 2008, 2009, 2010. They were all brilliant. I think 2008, that was the last one with 2D only, wasn't it? Ooh, here we go. Something that we're never going to see, but we'll do the draw anyway. Nations League draw, Division B. Who would Andorra be playing if we were continuing the save? Oh, so we'd be in Group 4. All right. Iceland and Ireland together. Ooh, not sure about that pairing. Greece and North Macedonia. Austria, Bulgaria. Bulgaria would have been good for us because we've definitely beaten them before. Denmark, probably one of the tougher teams we could have been drawn against. Then who else? Scotland we've played and beaten before, but they've gone. Northern Ireland, it's a team we could possibly beat. Serbia, thank God we avoided them. They've stuffed us before. Oh, that doesn't look good. Norway, who of course thrashed us in World Cup qualifying. Very tough group for Andorra, that. They'd probably end up duking it out with Northern Ireland to avoid the drop, I think. Yes, definitely agree with that. Andorra handed tough group. Yeah, but I think overall Football Manager 2020, I mean, it's been really good. I think not just for me. I've enjoyed this Andorra save. I've enjoyed the Cayman Island save. I enjoyed doing Boca Juniors in the beta. But it's just been really good year, I think, following the other people creating content out there, especially at this kind of end of it. The people who've got hundreds or a couple of thousand subscribers rather than the ones who are on like 15,000 or 40,000. I think a lot of people who, I've followed from previous versions, like Old Lady Plays, FM Digi, those guys have made a lot of progress, and you can see a big step up, or certainly I can see a big step up compared. I mean, they weren't producing terrible content before, of course, but I think they've gone from producing good content to producing excellent content. And then there's been a whole raft of new guys have come in this year. People who I'll drop their names anytime and I get a chance on Twitter, just because I genuinely have enjoyed watching them. FM Llama is of course one of them, and FM as well. Two creators I've really enjoyed their work this year. And yeah, there's just been so many people who've produced so much good quality stuff this year. I mean, Bobby G from your stuff, I mean, that epic journey around Asia, it looked like for so long it was never going to happen. I think that was my favorite part of the entire series, was you conquering Asia finally, after all those years. That was a great one to watch. And then of course we've got guys like Custard Prophet, who probably puts as much time and energy into promoting the community as he does himself, probably more so actually. And you know, those kind of initiatives have really driven things on, I think. And then just recently, I mean, people who are not necessarily new in the sense that they've just started. People have been at it for 6 months or so, but I've kind of they've only just started to come up on my YouTube recommendations and things like that. So yeah, guys like FM Stinger, if you haven't watched his stuff, I recommend you go and check out his Know Your Roles. There's a really good look at those individual player roles that come up in the game. And for me, in terms of the quality of the video and stuff, it's up there with Old Lady Plays Advanced Tips from earlier in the Football Manager cycle. And yeah, there's just been so much quality stuff recently. And FM Union as well, someone who's relatively new but has made a big splash quite quickly. And a lot of guys who I'm quite excited about seeing what they're going to produce in in the coming months. There's many other people who I haven't mentioned directly, but certainly, I mean, a lot of top quality stuff is making me think I've got to up my game as well to kind of keep up with everybody. Okay, let's get through these. Yeah, I'm doing the Bobby G thing, not really reading them, just clicking on the second level option most of the time. So Stinger, was that up against Demand More? I saw some mention of that on Discord, I think. All right, let's see what happens in these league matches. Maybe Atletico Bilbao can, put Barcelona under a bit of pressure. I better pick my team before we do the tactical briefing. Jimenez is fit again. We'll bring him back in. Santos has been great in the games that he's played, but he's second choice keeper, always going to be. Okay, Mbar is fit again. We'll put him on the bench. Chris Poole is another one. I signed this guy as a 17-year-old, and he's now become a wonder kid at 20. Fantastic. I've got 3 wonder kids at centre-back. Stockpiling them. Right, we'll let Marino have a start this time. We'll stick with Bosch. Lorenzo. I'm going to put Silva back in, though, for Larrazabal. I'm going to stick with Larrazabal up front, actually. Bit controversial, but I'm going to start him instead of Ben-Hur. Just let him keep his form up. Is Jonathan fit yet? No, not quite. Lavi is, though, so he can come back in. And Perez got to be in the team. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look. Stinger's game. I'm just catching up on the chat. Stinger's game. Bit of a sting in the tail. Nice. We like that kind of punnery around here. The apprentice embarrassed the master. It was a gubbin. All right. Well, yeah. The one reason I don't do any kind of tactical videos and things like that is I don't see myself as that much of an expert on the game. I prefer more to play the game, build up my squad, tell my story, and so on. And I always think if you get into that area where you're making tactical analysis videos or you're promoting certain ways of playing the game, and then you get involved in some online versus competition and you get beaten handily, then it's just a little bit more embarrassing, perhaps, than if you just get beaten saying, well, you know, I never claimed to be that good. Okay, Footy Man, welcome. So you've just finished watching the FM21 stream. All right, good. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that's whet your appetite for the game and getting your own stuff started. All right, 3 games to go then. Real Betis coming up, then Atletico Madrid. So these are 2 big games that we need to win. So looking at the table at the moment, there's a nice gap between us and Atletico Madrid, 7 points. So a good result today could mean then, you know, we've got 4th secure, and then it comes down to that battle with Real Madrid and Sevilla over who gets 2nd place. Barcelona now champions. Yeah, so there's no catching Barcelona, not yet. We'd need a few more seasons to get there. All right then. May 2030. So I guess this is 11 seasons in total. I was actually, I was having a look back through the Andorra history, and of course it took us a couple of seasons to get out of 2nd Division B, and we had 3 seasons in the 2nd Division, but then we had that season we were relegated from La Liga, so that doesn't really count, and then another season in the 2nd Division. So we've only really had 3 consecutive good seasons in La Liga, so you know this save could go on if Football Manager 21 wasn't coming out. So good. Stream got you excited for the new game. That's good to hear. Yeah, let's have a look. Keep our run going, boys. This is a big enough game to do the whole team follow-up and kick things off. So no early goal this time. We had early goals in the games against Tenerife and Sporting Gijon. No such luck this time. Of course, this is a slightly tougher game away to Real Betis. I was in a mind to kind of go for my slightly more conservative, patient, possession-based tactic rather than our more positive thrusting forward one, but I figured with Larrazabal in the form he's in, hit the post and then got called up for offside. But yes, who knows? Who knows? Would be nice to get one of those purple shirts, but yeah, I think we're a long way off that. There's plenty of people at the head of the queue for those kind of things. I don't know, this FMFC thing, I did sign my name up for it. Speranza spanks in his 10th of the season. I'm not entirely sure what it's about. It just seems to me, yeah, it's just the same as the Insider thing that they had before. Says there's a chance to win your own copy of a shirt there, but yeah. I've had my luck in the past in winning Football Manager merchandise and competitions several years ago. I think it was probably back around Football Manager 2010 time. I won... Oh, we got a penalty. Good. I won a set of Football Manager Top Trumps, limited edition apparently. And that was part of some competition on the forums, I think it was, before the release of a new game. I've still got them packed up somewhere, but I've never opened the packet completely sealed, just in case, you know, it's worth something in the future. But yeah, so that's it. I've probably used up all my lifetime of luck of winning FM merchandise, so that'll be it. Speaking of winning things for FM, if you haven't got your copy of FM21 yet and you'd like to win one, you can go and check out my New Gen Nation giveaway video with your chance to win one. Just go and watch the video, follow the instructions, and there you go. Quick plug for that. All right, so we're 2-0 up and cruising here. Let's see if we can, add one more before half time. Nope, it doesn't look like it, but 2-0, got to be pretty happy with that. We'll still tell the team to, watch out for that complacency, of course. We'll do it assertively, of course. In the future, we'll be doing it with arms wide open or throwing water bottles. See, that was a little bit of the stream I did see that did look a bit weird in the press conference. They kind of pause, click on the body language, and then click on the response. But I'm sure we'll get used to it. Anyway, time for a quick substitution. Larrazábal has gone off the boil, so time to bring on the big man, Ben-Hur, of course, and we'll put Mbar on, get his fitness back up. All right then, 20 minutes to go. Betis haven't really offered anything in the second half, apart from some fouls. So I'll tell the team I'm happy with their performance. Final substitution then. Let's give our Andorran icon, Jose Francisco Perez, a bit of a run out. Yes, we will have a look at Ben-Hur after this game. He's only been with us one season. He was at Flamengo before coming here, and from what I remember from looking at his previous stats, he's never been a prolific goal scorer, not before he came to play for Dodgy Gamer. He was like a player with potential, and then we've taken that potential and just not so much untapped it as uncorked it. And just let it fly everywhere. All right, so that's a good win for us. That means, I think, even if Atletico Madrid win their game in hand, they're not going to be able to catch us for 4th place. So that is fantastic. That makes the next game a lot easier. Oh, Odriozola is 1 game away from 10 appearances and triggering, but he's already said he's going to retire. So we've confirmed our best ever finish in the 1st division. Nice. Speranza on form again. He's showcasing himself in this live stream for you. He was a bit anonymous in the previous live stream, but yeah, prefer setting pace. Jose Francisco Perez, what a guy! 28 years old now. Been with us since he was 17, since the beginning. They're still asking me 11 seasons in about having to get rid of players from when I arrived. We do have 2 of them left. Jose Francisco Perez and Angel Hernandez. They've been with us all this time. Right, let's bring up Ben-Hur for you. Any other players you want to take a closer look at, do let us know. So here you go, Ben-Hur. So these are obviously his stats for this season. 25 goals in the league. I'd like him to bag a couple more so he can make himself top scorer. If we have a look at his career stats, so you can see he started out at Cree, whatever that is. Only ever played a couple of games for them. Small money transfer to Flamengo, but you see, never scored more than 7 goals in a season for them. Never became a first team regular. Brought him over here, put him in the first team. Boom. That's Ben-Hur for you. He's been the player that we needed. Actually, I'll tell you who we should take a look at. Find out whatever happened to Baltazar, if you remember him. So Baltazar, we had a few seasons ago. Then he left us for Lyon. I know he went back to Brazil, and then I stopped tracking him. So he had that season and a half, big stuff with us, and then never really did anything at Lyon. Went back to Brazil, but refound his touch there, and then big money move back to Portugal at the start of this season. The other one, of course, the other kind of star striker we had early on, back when we first came up to the second division and were allowed to sign foreign players, Lee Russell. So it's still at West Ham. So let's have a look at him. Yeah, he just never really became a huge player, did he? Had one good season when West Ham were relegated to the Championship. I guess they must have been playing, and they've retrained him as a central attacking midfielder, which he wasn't when he came to me. So I think they must have used him in a non-striking role a lot. Of course, let's not forget, we also, at one point, as a striker, had our very own Benedetti. Those were the days. Yeah, Baltazar the traitor. As soon as a moderately large club came sniffing, he was off. I think if he'd stayed with us, I think, to be honest, he was better than Arlindo. If he'd stayed with us, we would have made progress a lot more quickly. But that's one of those things in Football Manager. I think it's become more realistic in a sense over the last few versions. It seems it's much harder than it used to be to hold on to your top players, especially when you're kind of still a fairly low reputation club, still rising the ranks. I remember playing back around Football Manager 2009, 2010 when I had really good players at really small teams. All I would do was just offer them a new contract like a month before the transfer window opened. They would always accept, just like an extra £1,000 a week. And then when either no bids would come in or when bids came in, they'd say, oh, I've just signed a new contract, I'm not interested in leaving. So, you know, they kind of made it more realistic in that sense, but also it's more frustrating that, you know, you get these players stolen from you. Especially playing in, in a league where, you know, you're limited in the players you can buy, like the Spanish league. You have to have that minimum release clause as well, which is another pain in the arse. Sometimes I've had players where I've signed them down to a new contract and they're kind of raw, untapped potential, 15 million release clause, and one season later, everybody's just bidding 15 million for them because, you know, they've reached that level. That makes Spain a bit of a challenge when you start out with a small team. So, question for you as we come into the Atletico Madrid game, in terms of your own play and also the Football Manager content that you watch, whether it's, you know, YouTube, Twitch, or reading blogs or whatever, what have been your standout moments, the favourite things that you've seen around the Football Manager community over the cycle of this game? For me, like, one of the standout moments has to be the whole thing with Loki Doki making the video to shine the spotlight on United City FM, and then that incredible boost he got after it. And then we had something similar where somebody came across Old Lady Plays channel and like shared it on Reddit, and then she got a whole surge of subscribers. Those things were good to see. And my very favourite community moment, I have to say, was the whole Digi the Champ that day of build for his live stream. It was fun to be a part of. And the live stream itself was really good as well. Shame it didn't turn into a win for him. Right, Atletico Madrid. So we're going to go slightly more conservative for this one. As I say, I'm going to play Ben-Hur because I want him to be the top scorer in the league. We'll put Perez back in as well. Maiorino and Bosch. There we go. Why is it not letting me move that player over? There we go, that's much better. That's the team I want. So JDH, of course, Island Dreams. Yeah, that was definitely a fun series to follow. I have said this to FM Llama before, that originally I thought, okay, it's entertaining first couple of episodes, but I did think watching him play the same three teams over and over is going to get a bit stale after a few weeks. But if you've watched those intros, you know that wasn't the case at all. Definitely a fun save to follow and a good story as well. So Flaky agrees. The Island Dreams was amazing. Rostock also, yes. Swedish Mafia with Michelino. And DigiStream and the build-up to it. JDH's on that one as well, the DigiChamp hype train. It'll be returning this Saturday, although it'll be a premiere this time. But then don't forget, right after that Old Lady Plays, we'll have her premiere up. It's like they've timed it so they're kind of back-to-back. And they've both got Champions League finals. So that's going to be fun to watch. I hope we don't get the FM20 on Friday night spoiling it for them. I'll still watch, even if we have. After having had no sleep all through Friday. Actually, that would be a terrible idea. I work on Saturday. Never mind. Right, here we go then. Penultimate game. Atletico Madrid away. We've beaten these guys twice this season. In the league, at home, and in the Super Cup. First 2 times we've ever beaten them. Yeah, JD, I do believe both Old Lady Plays and FM Digi are playing PSG. It seems to have become the trendy way to go out because Pino stuck it to PSG in his final episode with Marseille, and FM Digi and Old Lady Plays are going to be aiming to do the same. All right. Atletico Madrid, so at least they're far enough behind us now that even a defeat will keep us in that top 4. Carry on from where you finished off last time, gents. And off we go. It's good that we finally got wins over Atletico and Real Madrid this season, so we've beaten all of the big boys at least once now. Another little achievement for FC Andorra to have. Anyway, let's see what we get from here. If we can get another win notched over Atletico Madrid. They've got nothing to play for. They're just probably pretty safe in that Europa League spot, especially as our Europa League spot is going to go to someone in the league now that we've secured Champions League qualification. Or trying to get that cross into Ben-Hur, but it didn't quite work. Right, we've still got the ball, still got the attack going. There's an overlapping run if Silva wants to use it. He doesn't. Cuts. Oh, what a goal. Wow. Maicon Silva, 11th goal of the season. That was one hell of a strike. Look at that. Picks the ball up there. Takes on one man, beats him. Takes on another man, makes a fool of him. And makes the keeper look like an idiot as well. What a strike. Good question, Bobby, about the saves. Yeah, I'm someone who's I've always had 2 saves on the go. Just because, you know, I think that helps me keep going overall for longer. That's if I get a little bit frustrated or bored with one save, I'll just go and play the other for a few days and then come back to it. And then as I've moved into content creation, like when I used to write on the forums, I'd usually have 2 save threads going, and then on YouTube it's become doing 2 saves as well. Yeah, I do find that when people have 2 saves going, I do tend to pick and choose a bit. Like, if I'm honest, I watched your Pentagon Challenge religiously, but I didn't watch much of the Twat FC stuff because I just thought there's so many things to watch. I'm just going to watch one series. Same for FM Llama, that I watched Island Dreams religiously, but I kind of dipped in and out of Border Adventures, and then I was Custard Prophet. I was following the Gotney save, but not the Journeyman so much. So yeah. I think offering 2 saves is good. Oh, we've gone 2-0 up. Fantastic. 2 saves is good in terms of kind of appealing to a wider audience. You might then get a group of people who are watching one save, and then a different group of people who are watching the other save, and then a small crossover of people who watch both, perhaps. So from that point of view, it might be a good thing. But yeah, I can understand that probably a lot of viewers, I'm sure I have plenty of people who only watch Andorra Andorra and ignore the other stuff I put out, and maybe some people who only watch the Cayman Island stuff and weren't too bothered about the Andorra stuff. So let's have a look here. Llama says, yeah, lots of people possibly only watch one of the 2. Depends whether they want serious or nonsense. Yeah, and I think that's another thing. It's good if you are doing 2 different saves. It's good to make them very different. Like, you know, I tried to do it, so I've got this Andorra save going on, and then I had the Cayman Islands going on. I mean, okay, both of them featured an element of international management, but I think they were different enough in the way they were set up. And then obviously for FM Llama, Island Dreams and his club Journeyman were quite different. So I think having 2 very different saves, if you've got 2 saves going and they're both kind of similar, people are less likely to be interested in both, I think. So Flaky, you like when it's the national team and the club. And yeah, so yeah, one series international, 1 series with a club. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing in FM21. JD, so 1 save unless there is a clear break. Yeah, I think that's another thing too, to schedule them in a way. Like, I like the way Llama did it. We knew the weekends was Island Dreams, the weekdays was Border Adventures. I tried to make sure that my Cayman Island stuff was always Monday, Friday, and then yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday was the main schedule for the Andorra stuff. Oh, we've done it. 2-0 win over Atletico Madrid, and we never really looked that much under threat. So now, ball's in Real Madrid's court. They've got to get the win to stay ahead of us. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, and time, of course. Time is an issue. I would love to watch more content, but, you know, 24 hours a day and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so Duarte, 125th appearance, nice record. Best player in Europe. Where's Ben Hur on the list here? No comment. All right. Llama will be right back in a moment. Good stuff. We're coming up for the final match. Getting quite emotional. Real Sociedad. Axel Speranza's going to be suspended, but that's perfect because that means we have no option other than to start the Andorran icon, Jose Francisco Perez. We're going to have a look at his career in a moment. It's definitely worth spotlighting. He's been one of my favourite kind of characters, if you like, from this save. So yeah, let's check him out in a bit more detail now. So where are you? Don't be shy. Oh wait, I've still got the B team and under 19 team up. So let's just have a look. Jose Francisco Perez. I mean, you see, in comparison to the rest of the squad, as the team's improved, obviously his star ratings have stayed kind of intermediate, shall we say. He's only on 12.5k a week, so not one of our big earners. But look, right from the beginning, he's played, apart from his very first season when he was just 17, he's played at least 20 games a season for us. So, you know, really standout performer. He's scored every season. He's provided assists every season. And average rating overall of 6.93. So for a player who is essentially, you know, he's a good division above where he should be. The coach reports say he's a second division level player. I think he deserves a standing ovation. I would stand up, but, you know, I'll knock the green screen over, but I'll do it afterwards. Milestone-wise, you see, yeah, he's been Andorra captain, FC Andorra captain. He's been in the seasonal best 11s, and he's was a one-time record holder for the Andorran national team, top goal scorer. That's now Zarzana. But yeah, it doesn't list the cup as one of his achievements for some reason, or the Spanish second division, but he's got those winners' medals as well. Have a look. So Bobby, just reading your thing there about doing 2 series, and the other. That is one thing about YouTube. I think when you do a series, the first episode will always ultimately get a super high number of views, much more. I mean, I see some people who, you know, they're on like 200 subscribers, but maybe the first episode of their Newcastle United save or something like that has, you know, 6,000 views or whatever, but then, you know, it very quickly drops down to about 30, 40 views an episode. So I see, yeah, if people do have more than one series, or I see some people who will do short-term series where they maybe just do 3 or 4 seasons at a club, and then they start a new save all over, so they kind of get that first episode boost more often. And I don't mind that, as long as the creator themselves is clear that this is a short-term save, and I've got a specific target, and then I've achieved this target, and I'm going to move on. One thing that puts me off some channels is when it's like they're starting a new save every other month, and then it's like you start to get interested in a save they're doing, and then it's just like, oh, I'm not feeling it. I've got bored with this save, so, you know, I'm just going to ditch it and move on to something else. And then I kind of get a bit frustrated with that, and I'll start watching someone else instead. So yeah, I mean, I try to be. I mean, I'm not consistent in terms of I don't always get episodes out at exactly the same time and on exactly the same day, but I do kind of have a rough thing that I aim for. If I know that I'm going to be busy and I'm going to be away, or, you know, I'm not going to be able to upload for a couple of weeks for some reason, I'll make sure I mention that in my videos. I put it on Twitter as well. And yeah, sometimes, you know, if I skip a Tuesday upload, I skip a Tuesday upload. It's not too big a deal. There we go. It's confirmed. We've qualified for the Champions League after securing our top 4 finish. Absolutely fantastic stuff for FC Andorra. They've set us an initial budget is quite low. Have a look at the finances. Yeah, just over $1 million in the bank. But by the end of the season, I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of prize money and TV money coming in. So I'm sure, not that it will ever happen, but I'm sure for the future season there will actually be a sizable transfer budget. Mbar now a regular in the Nigeria squad, dual Spanish-Nigerian nationality, so he chose to represent the Nigerian team. Blakey says, get bored with saves if they are with big clubs. So small club saves, yep, that's me as well. I like to build up. I like to watch people build up small teams, or just ones that are kind of big teams, but not your standard big teams. Like that's what I like. That's what I enjoy on FM Trek's channel. That he's picked a team like, you know, Fenerbahce or Genoa, or he did Flamengo last year. So teams that are big, but not the super elite teams. I find those fun to watch. But I don't know. I don't know if I can say there's a particular type of content I prefer, because this year I've watched, you know, people doing journeyman saves, people doing single club saves, people doing international saves, people doing youth challenge saves, and, you know, all sorts of different ways of playing the game. I think the important thing is just that the creator themselves is enjoying it. You can tell they're enjoying it when they're putting their episodes out, and then, you know, and then you watch along and enjoy the ride. Also, I think I watch a lot of smaller creators like myself. So one of the things I'm also looking for is I like to see, you know, you like to see how people are growing and developing their channel and their content as well. So if you can see that progression, that's something I enjoy a lot. Right, so we're the home team, we're favourites. So they asked the opposition manager, you're coming up against Jubilant Dodgy Gamer after the continental qualification, and he congratulates it. Nobody deserves it more than me. Thank you. Thank you. That guy knows what he's talking about. Now I'm just going to slate him in this press conference. Yes, okay. What? Now they're saying he's trying to rile me up. I don't think so. Bloody media. Okay, anyway. Yeah, they're performing above expectations as well. And no time to get complacent, of course. Right, let's set up this tactics-wise. We're going to go back to our more kind of flashy formation. So Perez comes in, of course. We've got Hernandez on the bench. I'm going to put Mayumba in as well. He's been key to Andorra's success. So we'll bring him in here as well. We'll start with 3 Andorrans in the team. It's going to be an Andorran blowout. Okay, tactical briefing. Oh, this was all happening for the last time on Football Manager 2021. For some reason they don't like early crosses for this one. Okay. Keep them under pressure. Get stuck in. We want to see some cards. And off we go. Right then, let's have a look at the table as things stand. So we could finish 2nd, 3rd or 4th by the end of this all. So who are Real Madrid playing? They're away to Vallecano, so Vallecano is safe. They've got nothing to play for. And Sevilla are home to Espanyol. Espanyol will be looking to hold on to 5th spot, so could be a tough game for Sevilla. So we should be winning our game. Hopefully we will, and if Vallecano can do us a favour, well, we'd be happy to accept that. But at the end of the day, a top 4 finish is none too shabby. We've already guaranteed our highest ever finish. Oh, I've just seen a notification there. Ben-Hur, Young Player of the Year. So let's have a look. Best Rookie. Spanish League Young Player of the Year. So congratulations, son. The tallest ever Young Player of the Year. All right, here we go. Final day. No final day drama. Not like last time. I had a big episode. Final match. When we got relegated, if you remember that one. That was one of those episodes where, as I was recording it, I thought, oh, this is going to finish with a fantastic escape. And, you know, that'll be a nice episode to have up there. Wow, we just about clung on to our La Liga lives. And then we got relegated at the end of it. But I would say that is an episode. The views on it, the fact that it was so long, that episode was like 40 minutes long. But the average watch time on it was ridiculous. Like in the first couple of days, the average watch time was about 25, 30 minutes. I mean, it's gone down since, of course. But yeah, and then the amount of comments and then tweets and DMs and Discord messages and things I got about the episode was absolutely fantastic. You guys love to see people just miss out and get relegated, it would seem. But I would say, even though we got relegated in that episode, that was up there with one as one of my favourite episodes of the series. Elsewhere, of course, the first time Cayman Islands got to the World Cup was a damn fine episode as well. Good bit of community collaboration there, which, you know, I was happy to bring together. Ah, all the FM20 memories. Mayumba. Oof, we nearly had 2 Andorrans combined there. Perez setting up Mayumba. Fantastic. Oh, no, something's been called there. But off to a positive start, at least. We will still demand more. Because, you know, that's just what we do. Alright then, Silva's got this one. Coming inside, beats several men. Ben-Hur has a shot. Silva hits the post. Oof. Oh, that was close. We, of course, want to finish on a win. We don't want one of those end-of-season games where everybody's gone to sleep. Okay, Silva. Alvarez. Ooh. I don't know why they do this. I hope this isn't in FM21. If it was sometimes they called it back and said, okay, it was a goal, you know, I'd understand it. But anyway. It's been all us so far. Let's see if we can turn this into a goal before half-time. Hernandez out to Perez. Good stuff. Come on. Hernandez with the overlapping run. Fantastic. Get that cross in. Perez. Ben-Hur. Oof. That was close. Still love how Ben-Hur barely has to jump. It's just like he just stands on his tiptoes. Okay, Vallecano Madrid is 0-0. So come on, boys. Get us some goals here. Okay, here we go. First chance of the half. Jonathan. Reggie boy. Ben-Hur. Nearly. Oof, that's a bit of a wild shot there. Actually, I should make some tactical changes here. Let's go more direct. This often does it for us. Floated crosses to take advantage of Ben-Hur's extra height. Get creative. Let's break down this stubborn Real Sociedad defence. Perez with the cross. No one's there, but Duarte steals one. Close, close. "30 minutes left. We're going to have to make a substitution soon, I think. Chris Poole can come on for Ricci. We don't want him getting sent off, getting red carded. All right then, into the final 25 minutes. Demand more, one more time. Then we'll probably get creative one more time. Oh, okay, let's see what we get here. Ben-Hur ghosting in at the back post. Can't keep his header down there. We've dominated this game, but not got anything out of it yet. We're going to take off Angel Hernandez. We'll bring on Silhavi, and I think Maiorino will come on as well. Or Mayumba, so we'll take off 2 of the Andorran boys. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Tell the rest of the team to get creative and get a bit attacking. Final few moments of the series coming up. Are we going to get a late winner? Doesn't look like it yet. We'll go for it, like we're chasing a cup win or something like that. Come on, boys, let's push up. Let's give everyone a goal. Send everyone home happy. Or we'll just go with no highlights until... Oh, no, we've got something. Jimenez with a shocking goal kick. And now Real Sociedad get the quick counter. No, they don't. Regielson picks it up, drives forward. Come on, out to Perez. Andorran icon, come on. Get a goal for us to finish things off. That would have been a sweet way to end it all. But as it is, the highlight continues. Now we get a poor kick from their goalkeeper. Duarte out to Silva. Come on, get it in. Get it onto Ben-Hur's head. Okay, we got the free kick. Nice, final 20 seconds. And Ben-Hur gets it late. Oh, that was even later than our winner in the cup final. 35th goal of the season. What a bargain Ben-Hur has been. That's a goal for every $500,000 we spent on him. FM20 joins us right at the end. We're just playing the final game of the season. Ben-Hur, the goal stands. It's not offside. And we finished second. Oh, Real Madrid could not beat Vallecano. Second in the league on head-to-head results. That is a good way to finish. Fantastic stuff, boys. Nice victory. Yes. We've done it. It was indeed emotional, Bobby. Emotional indeed. So, FC Andorra. We finished second in our final season. Fantastic. Arlindo could have done us a favour, but he was involved in the Vallecano team taking points off Real Madrid, so well done you. Leipzig boss Conte was spotted at the stadium tracking Maicon Silva. Well, you can piss off. You're not getting him. Send assistant. We're not bothered with the final press conference. Finishing above Real Madrid is indeed awesome. If we could just played a couple more seasons and got to finish up above Barcelona as well, would have been even better. Okay, no one's bothered about the training schedule. So that is it. That is it then. So if we have a look at our performance, this season's been pretty darn good. We had a run of bad form around October. If we hadn't had that, we could have kept ourselves in the hunt for the title. And apart from that, the only other disappointment was that collapse in the second leg against Sevilla in the Euro Cup. Right, I am going to just go and export my team for versus competition. Don't forget, on Saturday, if the beta has not dropped, I will be doing a live stream where I have my teams, my final teams, all set up for you. And if anyone wants to come and join me in FM Touch for a bit of head-to-head, that's what we're going to do. Let's just have a look at a bit of club history if we can. So, the kind of things we'd normally do. So there's our rise through the divisions, starting from here in the second Division B. Nice upwards trajectory if we just forget about that relegation there. And we've added a Spanish second Division B2 group title, a Spanish second division title, and the Spanish Cup. So that's all fantastic stuff. There's our competitions list. Let's have a look. Best 11. So this is our overall best 11. Banus stays in as goalkeeper. Georgie Gomez and Crush. Jonathan and Angel Hernandez. Duarte, Guedes and Macias. Macias, he's now at Vallecano, so he was involved in taking that point off Real Madrid as well. Arlindo, Perez and Silva. Lee Russell, Axel Speranza, Javi Munoz, Eduardo Cortina, Musa Cisse, and Pedro Justiniano. Daniel Jimenez on the bench. Pretty good team. I like that best 11. Records. Let's have a look at the records. So we've just achieved our highest ever position in the league. Most points in a season came 104 points when we won the second division title. And what have we got in terms of our players? Ben Hur now holds the record for most goals in a season. Look, Benedetti was there back at the beginning with the record. Lee Russell, Baltazar, Arlindo, Ben Hur, all great players. All great players. Most league goals, of course, is Arlindo as well. Ben Hur as well. Jimenez has dominated the clean sheets over the last few seasons. All fantastic. Take a look at my profile as well. There we go. So, finished with a reputation only on 65%, but 3.5 stars. I'm apparently unambitious. Okay, whatever. Got 20s for my youngster knowledge, discipline, man management, and motivating. Technical, and working with youngsters, of course. All good stuff. High tempo possession style play, signing players domestically. All the kind of things that we like to see. All right, so that is it. I think the awards for the Spanish First Division haven't come out yet in terms of Player of the Year. No, not yet, but we haven't got time to play through that much. Well, all that remains, apart from plugging the Saturday stream, which according to Footy Madman will be able to go ahead because Beta's unlikely to be out over the weekend. Yeah, all that remains is to thank everyone. So, okay, we just looked at we just looked at the best 11 and it's just been updated. So Jimenez is now in the best 11 as the goalkeeper. Regielson is in there as well. End of season awards, Ben Hur, who else? Player of the season. Fantastic performance from him. Signing of the season, young player of the season as well. Clean sweep for Ben Hur. And what else have we got? I think we've picked up some awards as well. Yeah, Ben Hur, top scorer in the league. Jimenez, goalkeeper of the year. And Jimenez, Umbar, Ben Hur in the team of the season. So that was a fantastic way to finish. All that remains, as I save that, is to thank you guys for watching tonight, for watching the entire series, or part of the series, whether you've dipped in and out or watched it all. Thank you very much. I hope you're looking forward to Football Manager 2020-21. I certainly am, and I'll be hoping to see you all down in the comments and be watching a lot of your content as well. So thank you, Bobby. You've loved the series and my face. Well, thank you for that, and I'll catch you for FM21 as well. So yeah, don't be a stranger in the comments, of course. So yeah, thank you everyone once again. Hopefully see some of you. Do let me know, drop me a message on Twitter or Discord if you're planning to be along for the Saturday versus Open Challenge night, so I can do a little bit of preparation, of course. Always prepare my tactics very carefully. But apart from that, there's nothing else to say, but thanks for watching.